What's up, YouTube? It's been about 2 or 3 days since I took a break from YouTube. I always try to conserve a break from YouTube so I don't burn out, because you put out too many videos too fast, then you guys can't enjoy this great content. So, I made a lot of good videos. I had one of my fans walk up yesterday and give me a fist pound. So I want to say thank you. I know I've been busy. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't, I didn't want to talk. It's sometimes when you become a YouTube superstar, you get hit with so many YouTube responsibilities that you can't say hi to everybody. It's just like being a Hollywood celebrity. And when we get closer to the summer, I will make a YouTube video called What is the Difference? Compare and contrast to being a YouTube superstar and how it's similar but also different from being a Hollywood celebrity. And that's going to probably turn into a 5-part series because I have an idea for that. But I also have future collaborations with another YouTuber, and I haven't decided how that's going to go about. So this is a special video. I told you guys I was going to do a project. It's been broken into 4 videos. So bear with me. This video is probably going to be between 35 to 40 minutes, might even be 45 minutes. Let's see if we can get it between 30 to 35 and 40 minutes if necessary. If it gets to the 45-minute mark, I apologize because this is going to be a long and lengthy video, but it's definitely worth it because this is going to be my music series. I'm going to do 3 to 4 videos on the music scene, what people love about hip hop and R&B, rap music, what people love about rock, heavy metal, alternative rock. So you're going to get all of these videos on your favorite artists. Now, the first one's going to be heavy metal, alternative rock, punk rock, and then the second one's going to be R&B, hip hop mixed with pop, and then the third one's going to be rap music because I know there's some people that want me to talk about who are the greatest of all times, and I break these videos into different categories. So if you want me to talk about rap, you're going to have to wait until episode 3 for me to get to the rap. We're doing different genres of music. So to make it more fun, more exciting, more creative, more unpredictable, the videos are more fun that way. If I just did everything in order, it would be boring. It's like pay-per-view. Do you want to see Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao the first fight, or do you want to see it in the main event? So think of rap music like it's the main event, okay? Some people say this video should be the main event. The fourth one could be me take the best rock artists. Like there's the rock band, and then there's the lead singer. So keep in mind when I do the fourth video, that's going to be who are the best lead singers of the rock band. So this is rock stars, solo acts mixed in with, so half is superstars, half of it's rock bands. Some of you might like the video, some of you might dislike the video, some of you understand where I'm going with the direction of my video, some of you are not going to be supportive of the direction I'm taking the video of my content. I'm just trying to keep it fresh and new and to different territories so you don't get the same usual BS all the time. So let's get into it. It's going to be called Sex Game Top 16 Greatest Rock Stars / rock bands of all times, 1980s, the 90s, and the mid 2000s, and I'll probably put late 2000s. There's a lot of rock bands that should have been on this list, but I had 16 spots. So if your favorite rock star or rock band's not on here, I apologize. I'm going to make 4 videos. So if you don't get it in part 1, it's in part 2. You don't get it in part 2, it's in part 3. You don't get it in 3, you will get it in 4. You're going to get 4 videos of the music scene. Normally, these would be done in the summer, like late July or either June or late July or mid-August. But we're doing it 1 month early, so consider you guys that you're getting a lucky treat. So without wasting any time, let's get on with the first person on my list. At number 16 is Soft Cell and their hit single, Tainted Love. Now, for guys who have problems with women, or women who have problems with their boyfriend, this song is perfect. This song came out in the 1980s, and as a little kid, I always heard this song come on the radio. I don't know why I always heard this rock song. I don't know if it was destined for me to hear this song, but I actually like the artist who made this song. Like, they made a bunch of songs. They came in the 1980s. They were one of those rock bands that was on the same level as Korn, but they were kind of like all the rock bands that you hear today that make love songs. They were like doing that in the 80s, and at that time they didn't think it was a good idea for, you know, Soft Cell to be making love songs on their albums because they were afraid, you're going to turn off the customers, no one's going to buy the albums. And they said, we can do both. We can do straight hard metal shit with a soft touch. So they called themselves Soft Cell. And this band was so worldwide acclaimed that they did not one, but they did like 4 albums in 4 years. Of course, every rock band has their issues. There's fights over contracts, money disputes. Lead singers want more money, more attention, more praise. Oh, every rock band goes through that. And as a kid, I just loved the song. They show you the picture of a guy running away from the girl chasing him. That is a good love song. So when you want to listen to something that gets you in the mood, you think about the days when you're in high school, college, at work, and at gym. You think of it. And they get one person to play the beat, so it still has a hard rock effect. And then they have the guy to come in with the soft voice to kind of, draw you into the song. And you start reflecting and actually thinking about those days of what could have been, what should have been. You think about it. It's like a storybook. You open the book and the song is showing you things that you always thought about, and then you start to wonder if I only can go back to that. And these guys were good because their songs 25 years later would get into movies, television shows, and people would try to actually, before there was cosplay, there was like another talent show where they would have people dress up in dance competitions, and people would dress up as some of these musicians from that era. So when they did the 80s, this song always comes up on the countdown of the greatest songs of the hits of the 1980s. These guys deserve to be on this list because they did make their mark in the music scene. Now, there is copyrights about this song. There's like 2 different versions of this song, so you have to be careful when you go on the internet and try to listen to the song because sometimes Sony get a hold of these songs, and if you try to take the song on for yourself, you can get sued. So these guys get a lot of credit and a lot of respect. These guys were around for like 2.5 decades, killing it strong in the game. And if it weren't for them, you would probably not have too many rock bands today doing love songs if it weren't for these guys. So they did contribute to breaking in and doing rock music, rock and roll, heavy metal, alternative rock. If it weren't for them, you probably would have never gotten the love songs that you got today. So you got to show these guys some respect. They are a legend in their own right. All right, coming in at number 15 is Amadima. Now, he is a guy that came in the mid 1990s. He kind of like is a cross between the lead singer from Disturbed and Saliva. He comes with a fresh sound. He sounds like those lead singers, but when you see him, he's got the spiky hair. He's short. He got a little rasp to him, and he gives it his heart and his soul. But why he's on this list is because he broke ground. He done something that never was actually done before in music and alternative rock. He made a rock song of a badass Mortal Kombat character that we know all too well. Get over here! Come here! He made a rock song about Scorpion. Normally, if it was a movie or a television show, guess what? That was the only time characters got their own theme songs. And to give Scorpion, one of the badass ninja characters of Mortal Kombat, his own song, his own rock band, and to talk about you're immortal, you can't kill me, and to make it about Mortal Kombat Dead in the Alliance, it was unheard of to get a famous rock band to come in and talk about Scorpion, a Mortal Kombat character. And the way he took that story and made it his own song and talked about Scorpion's superhuman strength, his powers, his abilities, and how he's immortal, it kind of like you want to go back to that time and say, shouldn't you guys make a movie about Scorpion? Like, if you could make 3 or 4 Mortal Kombat movies and make the 4th Mortal Kombat movie about Scorpion, you could take that rock song with that rock band and it will fit perfectly well with Scorpion because he's like a huge fan favorite in Mortal Kombat. Doesn't matter if you played Mortal Kombat in the 1990s, the 2000s, or the late 2000s, and just recently they made a animated movie about who else? Scorpion, because he's a beloved icon character in Mortal Kombat. And they're making the reboot, it might it might be delayed by a year or two, but you're getting a Mortal Kombat reboot. And guess what? There are going to be regards to, if the movies are good, could you spin off a Scorpion movie? I mean, think about it. Wolverine was in the first three X-Men films. Then they made Origins of Wolverine, and just think about it. If you put Scorpion in that same system, Wolverine is and Scorpion are like on the same level. They can be a part of the franchise, and then you can separate and give them their own spin-off and make it three movies. Like, just imagine if you made three Mortal Kombat films and three Scorpion movies and made this his official theme song. I mean, you got the voice who plays Scorpion, and then if you get the song, this rock band basically had a career because of Mortal Kombat. I mean, he had done three albums way before he got the phone call to do a character, but when he did this, he blew up even bigger before because he would pop up in small parts in movies, television shows, commercials, and to this very day, it's the most played song because people just can't stop thinking about how Scorpion got his own rock song. You know, like, there's not that many characters in video games that got their own theme song like Scorpion. Scorpion got a rock song. And you feel the passion, you feel the electricity, the energy that this man brings for this character. So I had to have him on the list because as a kid going to high school, I got so hyped for that rock song that every time I played the video game of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, I was like, oh shit, here we go. I need to rush one more time before you die. Well, won't you face me? I can see the fear in your eyes. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I see the fear. Let's get it on. Let's fight. When you hear those lyrics, you can't forget those lyrics. That's how much passion he put in for a character like Scorpion. And if Wolverine can get three movies, why cannot Scorpion? Coming in at number 14 is Drowning Pool with their hit single, Let Bodies Hit the Floor. Now, I call this the sports fight song, because if it's boxing, somehow, some way this song gets played. If it's MMA, UFC, somehow, some way this song gets played. And when I used to look at rock in the 2000s, every time I watched a movie called The One with the Jet Li, that song came on. It was like they used that song to promote that movie called The One with Jason Statham and Jet Li. And it's like that song took on a life of its own. You get people who make videos, right? Fan-made videos of Dragon Ball Z characters, right? And they play that song. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies doom, 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 doom. Ah! One, nothing wrong with me. Two, nothing wrong with me. Three, nothing wrong with me. One, something's got to give. Two, something's got to give. Ah! Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies. When you hear that, it's like they're in your face and saying, what are you going to do about it? And it's like, you could feel the rage in that song. You know, they go to the mental hospital, they come in there, they pump life into the guy, and all of a sudden the guy just comes to life because the song's on. And the fact that they would take a story of random stuff and then inject it into the video was unheard of, because normally you have to have a story concept, and these guys said, let's just make a freestyle rock song and just go with it. And they told the studio, said, no, we can't do this, we can't put this out here to the people. And they said, the fans will go nuts. And they said, no, it's just a hype song. And the hype song broke numbers, okay? To this very day, someone at the beach playing basketball or playing football is bumping this. And I love the song because I told you, it's a sports song. You watch MMA, this song come on. You do boxing, this song come on. You play video games, you get hyped up. It's like, I'm going to bring the club to your house and we're going to have a smash. We're going to have a smash time. It's like, who could not love this? So to me, that's why they're on this list, because they're just great. They're just great people. They're just great guys that you would expect to be on this list. All right, coming in at number 13 is my favorite rock band right now, and that's Radioactive. Now, when these guys popped up on the scene, they kind of came in there late 2008, 2009, and they had put out an album. but nobody really was listening to it. And then they did, you know, how Eminem put his first album out, nobody listened to Eminem. Well, they had the same problem. They put out an album, nobody listened to it. Then the studio said repackage it. They brought in at that time they had two lead singers, and there was a confrontation. The guy who was there from the beginning wanted to, you know, do the rock band, and the other guy wanted them to wait until they had a sound that was gonna be new. So these guys ended up becoming a resurrection of Korn and Saliva and Disturbed, and all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, this one song played in Assassin's Creed 3. Because that's where the song came up. And then next thing you know, it's in everything. Movies, television shows, it's in love scenes, sex scenes. Little kids are singing the lyrics. And that was the first time you saw a band transcend in a short period. Most rock bands, they need 5, 10, 15 years to transcend. They did it and a water drop. Welcome to the new age, the new age. You're like, oh shit. And when LeBron James won his NBA championship, like the first one that LeBron James won, they have him in a commercial with with beats by Dr. Dre. And what was LeBron doing? Nodding his head to the song. So that song transcended because when Arsenio Hall tried to bring his television show back, who did he first interview? That rock band. All of a sudden, he's got a little kid singing the lyrics to the song. I get on the bus, what do I hear? Kids singing, Welcome to the New Age. People sold out Assassin's Creed 3 the first day the game got released because of that rock song. It's like the song was supposed to be to make you buy the video game. Nobody knew that that song was going to make you buy the video game, watch the movie, and then turn around and then the song would just get injected into everything. And it's like by far one of their best songs. Now, they did make the music video, and they did have an actor in there, and they made, you know, the teddy bears getting abused. So the song does have a story. It's about people getting abused, and them talking about wanting to let go of certain stuff. So these group remind me of Linkin Park because Linkin Park was kind of like that in the beginning. They just came out of nowhere and just transcended in such a short period. But this group, you could feel the emotion. Like this and motivates you. This inspire you that if you have a dream, you should go live that dream, no matter what someone tells you you can't do under any circumstances. This is the song that I would call the dream song. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do nothing. That's, I think, the message you get from Welcome to the New Age by Radioactive. Live the dream. If they tell you you can't live the dream, then Radioactive and Welcome to the New Age. So that song is what you should know that song by. All right, coming in at number 12 is Black Sabbath. Now, this is a rock band that kind of got introduced to me in the Iron Man movies. You know, Black Sabbath, ADC, you know, The Highway to Hell. And basically, when you listen to some Black Sabbath, they're old school. These guys have been around for ages. I mean, these guys were around when my dad was like 21, 22 years old. So these guys have been around for like nearly 4 decades. And for them to just, no matter what generation, you tell them what it is and they can adapt. You say, I want some heavy metal, they do it. I want some punk rock. I want some alternative. I want you to mix it in with some pop. And they will be able to create some new flavor of a new sound that you ain't heard of. And if Robert Downey Jr. is listening to Black Sabbath and ADDC, that must be good, because if Iron Man's nodding his head to those rock bands, and then of course both rock bands made their own iteration to the theme song to Iron Man way before we even got the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And to hear the robot sound in the background, duh, I am Iron Man. And then there's Iron Maiden. So you actually technically have 3 rock bands who actually made their own iterations to that song, I Am Iron Man, way before we even got a movie made of it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And these guys have been around for so long that when I heard some of their older music and then compared to their new music, it's the same sound. They come at you with some rage, and then they can tell stories. Most rock bands back in the day were stereotyped as hot noise and bad stereotypes from movies and television shows. These guys, when you see them, they put all their heart and soul into their songs. And 15, 20 years later, you name any of their old songs from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, and most of the vast majority of the fans can memorize the lines and name off the names of those songs. And it's because they've been around for so long that they've always reinvented themselves no matter what the circumstances have asked. No matter how many times they've had to change band members and change the sound of their music, they managed to survive where other rock bands perish. So you got to give them some credit for being on this list. All right, coming in at number 11 is Kid Rock. Yeah, I love me some Kid Rock. Some people hate Kid Rock. I love Kid Rock. The man's from Detroit, Michigan. I got family in Detroit, Michigan. He makes hits like American Badass. Yeah, I'm cocky. And then, of course, he made that song, I'll Be Forever the Kid Rock. I got money like Fort Knox, and I'll be forever the Kid Rock. And then, of course, when he did his theme song for The Undertaker, to this very day, I put on a black t-shirt and I rock the hell out of that song. The fact that Undertaker says dead man walking and drives with the motorcycle, and you can hear Kid Rock say, "Are you scared?" And then all of a sudden you can hear the little girl in the background with the horror movie, "We're here, now back from the dead. Are you scared?" I mean, that song was so serious that you could feel all of the energy and electricity come from that song. Kid Rock hitting you with them hard lyrics, "Devil without a cause, and I'm back." I'm like, oh shit. He came up with a song that I like to this very day. Now, my friend that I went to college with, he gives me a lot of crap for liking Kid Rock songs, but to have a cowboy hit you with some rock like that, and then to take some country and make it sound good. It's like, how many artists do you know that can take a genre like country and actually make it good? It's not too many people that can do that. And Kid Rock was able to adapt to any style. And basically, and basically he's good because look what he done for his career. It got him into the movies, television shows, commercials. The guy started to get everywhere. The guy transcends crossover in hip hop and rap and does collaborations. So you got to give Kid Rock some credit. Coming in at number 10 is my best friend's rock band, Avenged Sevenfold. Now, I like their song because it's Hail to the King. I love that song. And that song, if you think about it, was made maybe 5 or 10 years later. But there's a movie called Hail to the King, 1, 2, and 3. And if you just had that song around the time those movies get made, it fits the movie and the story perfectly. And I call them the rebels because they're not afraid to say controversial things. They're not afraid to say something you might disagree with or something that might make you angry or mad. They get in your face and they tell you how they feel. And they managed to come in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and they did get stereotyped a bit. They got called rip-offs of Disturbed, Saliva, and Korn, and they said, we're not those other rock bands. We are our own rock band. And they proved it. They had a similar sound. They did songs that were based on life experiences, and they talked about everything. They don't just talk about my girl broke up. They talk about how it was hard to break in the industry. They talked about the challenges they faced and they had to break the stereotypes. Now, this group has managed to survive. They did have that challenge where can you guys survive the fame? Can you survive the prestige and the challenges? They had their ups and downs, and they popped out 7 or 8 albums. Now, their best album is arguably going to be their first album. Their second and third album was just as good as the first, but the first album, it stands to the test of time. You hear any song from this rock band, you can remember the songs. And what's so good about them is that they're from California. So it makes it better that these guys did pop up in California, in Southern California, and then they would travel back and forth. But their songs get into the movies, the television shows, Call of Duty, all the shooting games, all the games of war, Call of Duty. Their songs start to get into those video games. and people start singing the lyrics while playing the video game. So this is another rock band that was able to get acceptance, and people seem to love their songs. That certain parts of California, the songs are being played. So it's pretty interesting how this band has gelled all these years. Another group is Godsmack. Now, ever since I saw the movie Scorpion King, I kept playing the song over and over and over again. I pretend that I was the lead singer. I would take the broom and pretend the broom was a microphone, and my mom would just do this. And my mom was like, "You must love the song that much," because I would just play it non-stop. You had the video to the movie Scorpion King. You had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And it was like, it don't get no better than that. It's like, and the guy was a badass rocker that drove a motorcycle. So it's like, the way he made it look, like he said, I can pull it off. I'm going to be in my mid-30s, drive a motorcycle. And he also talked about a love song too. But the way he did it, he made it felt more. It was like he made it where, okay, I'm going to talk about a love story, but I'm going to talk about it in a way you didn't think was possible. And sometimes when you listen to his song, you just had to think about what you could have done better. So it seems like that was a good song to learn from your failures, and how to still move on and be successful. Coming in at number 8 is L.A. Roxy, I'm Going In for the Kill. Now, this is a female rocker. To me, she's like, what if you took a little bit of some Madonna, Lady Gaga, and another artist, and you infused all three, you get this woman. This woman is a female pop / rock star who is the lead singer of her rock band. And she broke barrier in the late 80s, early 90s, and they said that most female rockers' careers end within 3 to 5 years. She's lasted 10 to 15 years. She's put out 5 or 6 albums. And that one song, I'm Going In for the Kill, is so powerful that she actually tells you why women have a hard time telling men the truth. Like the way she actually goes into the song and sits down and explains, I'm doing it for a thrill, and I hope you understand. It's like she's actually sitting you down and telling you why your girlfriend ain't talking to you, why your girlfriend ignoring your phone calls, why your girlfriend just ain't gonna hear back from you, why she just ignoring you when you try to beg and plead. It was like, who do you know takes a song about love, sit down and explain to you why you're not getting nowhere in your relationship? It didn't just pertain to relationship and friendship, it pertained to life. It was like she's saying, first I'm going to have some fun, then I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing it for a thrill, then I hope you understand. It was like she's trying to communicate to you as a man, if you want to know why your girlfriend ain't calling back, if you want to know why your girlfriend ignoring your phone calls, your text messages, I'm going to tell you why, because you ain't going to get the answer from your male friend. That's the type of level she was on. And 10 years or 15 years later, it gets put in the theme song movie trailer for Judge Dredd. It had significance because the main villain in Judge Dredd was a female, so it made sense for them to play that rock song. And that song was being played way before they even thought about rebooting it. And what makes it so much more fun is that she made a remix to it, and then she had other hits. But that one was her best song because women dance to the song. Women sing the lyrics to that song. And women who were even around in that time period, when they hear that song, they just love the song because of what it talks about. And she's on that level. So that's why we have to have a woman on this list. I can't be sexist and biased and make it all about men. Because, if I do that, someone's going to be upset that you didn't put no women on here. Which argues, should I make a 5th video in this series? I have to make a spinoff called The Greatest Female Rockers of All Time. She might pop up on that list. I'm just saying. Coming in at number 7, lucky number 7, the rock band Queen. This band has been around for 4 decades, okay? Now, we all know Freddie Mercury was the man behind the creative vision of this group. And we all know that he had a lot of struggles. You saw the movie come out like about 2 years ago, Queen the movie, We Will Rock You. You got mud on your face. You a big disgrace. I mean, you should know that song is played in every sport, okay? This is like another fight hype song for sports. I mean, he just comes up with hits that you just don't think is a song. I mean, when he did opera, they thought he was mad. They thought he was insane. And it turned into a smash hit, and 30 years later, people are singing the lyrics to that song. People are going to opera shows because of what Queen did as a band. Not just as an individual, as a band, okay? When he did We Will Rock You, it's played in basketball. It's played in baseball. It's played in hockey. And people get so hyped for that song, people start doing dance off to the song. That's how powerful it is. And when he made She's a Man Eater, that's a love song. But the way he was able to come in there and explain, she'll chew you up. Oh, when she comes, she's a man eater. It's like he can do any genre and do it to its highest potential height. He was the man who inspired another man that's gonna show up on the next video at number one. And you're gonna know who it is because he has a hat, he has a magic glove, and he does the moonwalk. That's all you need to know. Coming in at number 6 is Linkin Park. Linkin Park is one of these rock groups that will forever go through history to stand the test of time. No group has as many problems as they do and still function at a high level. These guys have been through it all. Sex, rock and roll, drugs, alcohol, breakups, get back together, break up, solo stars, get back together, have a group album. They've done it all. And for them to be around for like nearly 3 decades is an impressive feat. 7, 8 albums, still going strong, still making music, still kicking ass and taking names. You know how hard it is to get a group like that and other genres of music? Not too many people can do that. And I love their song called In the End. It doesn't even matter. Like, that is also a love song, but it also talks about pain and tragedy of loss. You might have lost your mother, you might have lost your father, your uncle, your auntie, and sometimes you might look at a picture and reflect on the good times and not focus on the bad times. It talks about betrayal, how someone just betrayed you, how they just made you feel like you didn't matter when you did matter. And every time I listen to that song, I think about the days of how I was in high school, how I had a lot to learn, how I had a lot to grow. I call that song the growing pain song because it helps you grow and become a better individual. It helps you let go of the past, focus on the present and the future. And for them to be for nearly 3 decades doing these songs and the Transformer song, that I think that's what made me watch the first Transformer film. And for them to do the theme songs to those movies, it resurrected their career. Transformers, that first one, you can't say the name Transformers without saying Linkin Park. Can't say Linkin